Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, I have the back already taken off on the bends here. Got both sides jacked up. The rear just on stands right now. I'm not doing the front just yet. But I was gonna go through real quick just to show you guys the steps I'm taking right now, just to take the bag out and the actual dampener, the shock part. They're very simple. Everything is very simple on how to take everything out of here. These are all the tools that I needed so far. This one is a 21 millimeter. You'll actually need two of these. So use this one on the bolt end right here for the bag, and they're actually threaded all the way through these bolts. So I took the one out that holds this shock on to this side, and these bolts, they are completely threaded all the way through. So you have to, I used a little impact, this is a little baby one, so it works very well. It took them off and they come out this side, so you have enough room to take them all out. So just be prepared for a lot of threads having to take those out. As you can see, I just clipped my shock wiring. I'm not gonna fish it all out, and it wraps about, rounds through, and runs up all the way through this crap, and I'm not taking any of this out. It's too time consuming for what I'm doing. I could save that for the next person if they decide to, if I sell the car, to put it back together. But I went ahead and I clipped mine just right here, so the wiring is fine because I'm disabling all of this anyway. So you can still use, you know, I didn't clip it from inside of here, so you still have to unplug it and put a new one in if you want to do that. So this one was leaking, as you can tell. This one's been leaking for a little while, so everything's probably shot back here anyway, so I don't care about that. But on this, so I got that loosened. You'll go through the trunk and the side here to take off that top little nut to drop this out. It's very simple. For the power plug, it's right here. It's unplugged right now, but it goes back in just a little bit further. But I went ahead and I found that the easiest way is to get a flathead screwdriver, and you put it in there, and then the tab's on the top, so you just kind of twist it down and then you pull on the wire out and it pops right on out. Very simple. And then you can just pop this on out just like so, and then just get this out of the way. And then you have this, the clip, the clamp for the hose part. I'm not sure exactly. I think this is like a breather or some kind of thing. I'm not, don't question me on it because I don't know, but I know it has to come off. So I'm gonna rip that off because I'm not gonna damage any of the tubing or anything on these. I want to keep it all ready for the next person, if I'd ever decide to go back to Aromatic. I don't want to, you know, trash everything else. That'll be very expensive and costly. So I'm gonna leave all that there, just unhook it, and then I'm gonna take off this. I'll be able to rotate it down a little bit and then take off the air feed line. So once I do that, I'll be able to take that apart, and then this whole thing will literally just fall right on out. And then we can put the new stuff back in. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up taking these out, and then I'll show you the process of putting it back in. And then later on, I'll probably be finishing up for this evening, and then it'll be the next day, and I'll start the other side and do the fronts. The fronts will be fairly simple. So yeah guys, this is it for right now. It's pretty simple, it's not difficult at all. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to put the new stuff in, so stay tuned for this. Alright guys, I got the spring in here. I'm going to show you real quick what I had to take off to get this in. As you can tell, it's still, I had to cut my coil spring compressors. I had to cut them off. There was probably about like this much more on mine, so I had to cut them a lot shorter to get into here to fit correctly. So these things are cranked down pretty far right now, so you have to compress the springs. I mean, I had to anyway. but you gotta compress them really tight. Put this bottom one in first, this bottom plate. It's like the adapter here, and then you have one more on top of here, which in the center of it, and then you can see there's like a little hole, but on the original part here, actually I could probably show you, it looks like that, and there's a tab that goes from the top of where the car is. There's like a little plastic nub that this plate, the top plate here, will actually stick up into it, and it'll hold it on there, which is helpful. And then I had to take off my rear sway bar end link, just the top one here. You pop it off, and then it'll kind of let it relax a little bit more. And then I had to unbolt this because control arm part, and there's so many control arms on the rear of this, but it's the most outer towards the rear. You have to unbolt this one right here, and then this just pops off, and then you can go follow that straight up to this one, which is the main control arm. And what I did was, on the opposite side there's a nut. It's an 18, I believe, 18 millimeter, and you can take that off, and it's a T55 Torx bit on this side that you can just hold it a little bit, and then just take off the nut on that side. Leave the bolt still in there. It'll loosen it up enough that this will be a little more a little bouncy. And then all I used was this 2-foot breaker bar and this bar, and then went ahead and put it underneath here, and then pried it down to get the spring in. It's a little challenging, but it's in now. And then once everything is bolted back up, then you can go ahead and undo the spring compressors little by little each side, and then you'll be good to go on this. And I can install the standard shock absorber, and then this side will be done. Alright, so guys, this is what it looks like with one side done. Not too bad. The most difficult part of this whole thing is just putting the spring in. Literally, that's the most difficult part. But after that, it's pretty simple. Everything's bolted back up. Everything's nice and snug. Yeah, everything seems to be pretty good. This is nice and solid. So can't wait to do this other side, and then I'll be able to drop the car down. I just unhooked all those. I just tucked them back underneath there, all the wires and stuff like that I won't be using anymore. And then I just got to go and unhook, or I guess unplug, one of the aromatic suspension relays and a fuse. I'm gonna go ahead and turn those, just take those off, or take them out, so the pump won't be running anymore then. So kind of just disable it, and then when I get to the Star Machine computer, I'll be able to code that all out and be good to go. So yeah guys, so far this is the rear side, and then I'll get a couple videos showing the front side. So that one's pretty simple. So this is actually not too bad. So yeah guys, that's it for the rear, and now I'm gonna go onto the other side, and then the next one will be the front. Alright guys, I'm on the front here. I just replaced I put the new coil in here. Gotta just show you guys what I did to get this out. The easiest way is to take your 3 bolts on top off, take those out, and then disconnect your wire plug and your air tube, the feed tube. Take those off, and then come down to the bottom here. There will be a big bolt. It's a 21 millimeter. Take that off, punch it out, and then come up to the upper control arm. You'll have to take this nut off and use I used that little puller, popped it right out. And this whole thing, you've got to these couple of lines right here for your sensors and things like that. Go ahead and just unhook them from it, and let them give you a little more slack for when this comes forward, and then that'll give you enough leverage on it to kind of push the whole thing down just a little bit, and you can pop out the old strut and then reverse that and put it back in. Like I said, I was just cutting my wires. I'm not taking out all of the wheel well stuff just to unhook it. They're pretty much garbage anyway. They got super high mileage on them. They're not gonna last much longer anyway, so I snipped those the wires off. I'm done with those completely. This works pretty good. The rear, you see it's raised up a little bit because I have the jack stands and stuff on it still, but it does lower down just like the right height, so I do like it. It seems to be working very well so far. But yeah, guys, it's a pretty simple install. It does take some time to kind of wiggle things around and get the leverage and stuff at different points, but overall, yeah, so far it looks good so far. I just have one side to do, the other side, and I am finished because I'm extremely tired. This is kind of ridiculous. So it's just really hot in the garage here, and no airflow, and it's just kind of muggy, so it's kind of miserable doing this, but it's done. I got one more side to do, and then yeah, we can I'll get you some videos after I put this one on, and I'll show you guys the ride height and what it's like. Alright guys, catch you in a minute here. Alright guys, welcome back. Alright, so the car is now finished. As you can see, I gotta drive it a little bit, let it settle down. I pushed it back and forth and it lowered it a lot more. But yeah, that's not a bad ride height at all. The rear is pretty nice. So I'm pretty happy with that, because now my car will not rub, and it's possible now to go to a wider tire as well now. So as you guys can see, it definitely is better. And I can get a kind of look up in there. There's the coil. But yeah guys, that is the air ride for right now. It was raining, as you can tell. I had it backed off. Go to this side. It's a very nice ride height actually. I like it. Looks very good. Yeah guys, so now I can go out and drive it a little bit. I may end up doing some different modification to the fuel pump relays. Whenever I said the crank position sensor went, I was wrong. It was actually whenever on my flex kit underneath the car, there's the soft line that goes over it. Whenever you prime the ignition, you can see that, and it'll kind of move a little bit whenever it's pressurizing. And when I was sitting here in the garage, I just decided, I was like, okay, I heard the pumps kick on when we were broke down, but upon when I had the hood up and I was turning the key, I didn't see it moving at all. And I was like, okay, so had my wife come out and turn the key on while I was feeling the hose to see if there was any pressure in it, and there was nothing. So then I went ahead, went to the trunk, because that's where the relay is, which actually I can show you guys right here quick. On the 04 model, and there's all the water, but on the 04 model like mine, the relay is behind this panel here. It's like kind of tucked down in, and I had to redo that, and I put a new relay on it, but I couldn't find where the fuse was for the fuel pump. And then finally some looking around and everything, I came across this one right here. This fuse was a 30 amp and it was blown. It's one of these big maxi fuses, and that was blown. So I was okay, so I put a new one in there. The car started right up. I'm glad I did replace the crank position sensor though, because those do go bad on these. So I kind of just caught that as well. But I went ahead and put a 40 amp in it because my both Walboro 450 fuel pumps both need 20 amps, and that was only a 30 in there. So bumping it up to 40, now it should be more than enough for both pumps to run efficiently the way they should be. And I'm pretty sure that's probably why that ended up blowing. My tuner told me that I could run a separate relay to split the circuit for both of the fuel pumps. So one fuel pump just kind of have its own fuse and relay, and just tap to the trigger wire from the original relay, and just kind of run them like that. So I might do that. I just kind of don't really want to do that right now. So we're gonna see how the 40 amp fuse does right now. I mean, that's worst case. I can redo that. It's no problem. But yeah, guys, this is it so far. The car is running. It runs now. Can't wait to take it for a spin with the new suspension. See how that works out. But yeah, guys, hopefully you like this DIY video. Took a little bit of time to, actually it was just kind of one day. I started on it about, I want to say like 10 o'clock and finished up around 4. It's doing both rear side and both front ones. It's not a really super long project, but the rears were kind of annoying just with the springs themselves, trying to compress them enough and getting pry bars and stuff to move the control arm down. But other than that, it worked pretty good. I'm happy with it so far. The only light I have on is just the Visit Workshop and it has the air sticking up for the air ride stuff. So I can live with that for right now. So yeah, guys, that's it for now. Hopefully you liked the video. Give me a like, subscribe if you're not, and I will get some more videos out here. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. I really appreciate it. All the comments, I love it. Thank you so much, and we will catch you on the next one.